Imagine waking up one morning without reaching for coffee, and feeling both nervous and curious about what your body might do next. For millions of people, coffee isn't just a drink. It's a daily ritual, a comfort, and sometimes the only thing that makes mornings feel possible. It helps us feel alert, focused, and ready to face long workdays or busy family routines. But what happens when that familiar cup suddenly disappears for an entire month? Not for a day or two, but for 30 full days, long enough for your body and brain to react in unexpected ways. Quitting coffee can feel like a small lifestyle change, yet it often triggers very real physical and emotional responses. Some people report headaches, fatigue, irritability, or brain fog in the first few days. Others notice changes in sleep quality, digestion, anxiety levels, or even mood swings. These symptoms can make you question whether coffee was helping your health, or quietly masking deeper issues like poor sleep, stress, or hormonal imbalance. That's why this topic matters in real life. Coffee is deeply tied to our wellness habits, energy levels, and productivity, but we rarely stop to ask how it's actually affecting our body long term. Picture someone who relies on coffee to push through exhaustion, skipping meals, ignoring stress, and calling it normal. When they quit coffee for 30 days, their routine is suddenly exposed. Energy crashes feel sharper, emotions surface more easily, and the body begins to speak louder. At the same time, some people experience surprising benefits. More stable energy, fewer jitters, better hydration, and calmer digestion. It's confusing and sometimes uncomfortable, which is why many people quit and then quickly go back. This isn't about saying coffee is good or bad. It's about understanding how caffeine interacts with your lifestyle, your nervous system, and your overall health. When you remove it, your body is forced to adapt, and that adaptation can reveal things you didn't expect. Are the symptoms a sign of withdrawal, or are they signals your body has been trying to send for years? So what actually happens inside your body and mind during those 30 days without coffee? Does your energy truly improve, or does something else take its place? And most importantly, what does quitting coffee reveal about your health that you might not be ready to face yet? When you stop drinking coffee, one of the first things that happens is a sudden shift in how your brain and nervous system operate. Caffeine works by blocking adenosine, a chemical that signals tiredness. Over time, your body adjusts to this stimulation, building a quiet dependence that feels like normal energy. When coffee is removed, adenosine floods back in, which is why many people feel heavy fatigue, dull headaches, or low motivation in the early days. These early signs can be unsettling, especially for those who rely on coffee to manage busy schedules, stress, or poor sleep habits. Daily routines play a huge role in how intense this experience feels. People who skip breakfast, drink little water, or sleep irregular hours often feel stronger symptoms when quitting caffeine. In contrast, those who support their body with balanced meals, gentle movement, and hydration may notice different changes, such as clearer hunger signals, fewer energy spikes, or improved digestion. Emotionally, some people feel calmer, while others notice irritability or low mood, revealing how deeply caffeine affects stress hormones and mental wellness. Real-life experiences vary widely. One person may struggle through the first week with brain fog and cravings, while another feels unexpectedly grounded but slow. This inconsistency raises an important question. Is coffee the real source of energy, or is it simply covering up deeper lifestyle imbalances? As the days pass, the body continues adjusting, uncovering patterns linked to sleep quality, anxiety, gut health, and daily stress. Patterns many people never notice until coffee is no longer there. As the weeks go on without coffee, many people notice that the struggle is no longer just physical. It becomes emotional and mental. Mornings may feel slower, motivation can dip, and there's often a quiet frustration that comes from not feeling like yourself. For some, coffee was a source of comfort, a pause in the day, or even a reward during stressful moments. Removing it can feel like losing a small piece of identity, which can affect mood, patience, and emotional balance. These feelings are rarely talked about, yet they play a major role in why quitting caffeine feels so challenging. From a medical perspective, this period is when the body begins rebalancing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Coffee stimulates these hormones, helping you feel alert, but also keeping your system in a constant state of mild stress. When that stimulation disappears, The body may initially struggle to regulate energy, focus, and blood pressure. Some people experience lightheadedness, low stamina, or disrupted sleep patterns, even though they expected better rest. This contradiction often leads to confusion and self-doubt about whether quitting coffee was the right decision. Lifestyle impacts also become more noticeable. Work performance may feel different, workouts can feel harder, and social habits, like coffee breaks or cafe meetups, suddenly change. A common misconception is that these effects mean the body needs caffeine to function. In reality, it may be highlighting long-term fatigue, burnout, nutrient deficiencies, or poor recovery habits that coffee had been masking for years. As these layers are slowly uncovered, an uncomfortable question starts to form. Is the discomfort a sign of harm, or a sign that the body is finally being forced to reset? By the third and fourth week, this is often where the experience takes a more serious turn. The initial withdrawal symptoms may fade, but deeper warning signs can become harder to ignore. Some people notice ongoing low energy that sleep alone doesn't fix, frequent mood swings, rising anxiety, or a sense of mental heaviness that lingers throughout the day. Others begin to experience changes in appetite, blood sugar crashes, or a strange disconnect between rest and recovery. These signals can feel unsettling, especially when coffee is no longer there to quickly fix them. This stage can feel like a crossroads. Without caffeine masking fatigue and stress, the body starts revealing how well, or how poorly, it has been coping. Chronic stress, burnout, dehydration, poor nutrition, and disrupted sleep rhythms may suddenly feel amplified. People who once powered through long days with coffee may now struggle to concentrate or stay emotionally balanced, raising concerns about productivity, mental health, and overall wellness. It's easy to mistake this phase as failure, when in reality, it may be the body demanding attention. What makes this moment critical is the temptation to go back to old habits without understanding what's really happening. Is the body still adjusting, or is it exposing deeper health imbalances that need care? Ignoring these warning signs or rushing for quick stimulation can keep the cycle going. As this tension builds, one question becomes unavoidable. What is your body trying to tell you now that coffee is no longer speaking for it? What makes this stage even more concerning is that many people misread what's happening and respond in ways that quietly make things worse. Instead of listening to the body's signals, they replace coffee with energy drinks, sugary snacks, or constant screen stimulation, thinking the problem is just low energy. This can trigger new issues like blood sugar instability, digestive discomfort, increased anxiety, or evening crashes that disrupt sleep even further. The original symptoms don't disappear. They simply change form, becoming harder to recognize and easier to ignore. Another unexpected twist is how long some of these hidden effects can take to surface. Weeks without coffee can reveal underlying problems that were never diagnosed, such as chronic stress overload, poor nutrient absorption, dehydration, or irregular sleep-wake cycles. People are often surprised to realize that their normal state before quitting was actually constant stimulation, not true wellness. Subtle symptoms like low mood, reduced motivation, headaches, or tension in the body may point to deeper lifestyle imbalances that caffeine had been covering up for years. This is also where self-doubt creeps in. Many start blaming themselves, thinking they lack discipline or resilience, when in reality, the body may be struggling to rebalance its natural energy systems. The mistake isn't quitting coffee, it's expecting the body to heal without addressing the habits built around it. As these complications quietly stack up, the question becomes more urgent and uncomfortable. If coffee was hiding these signals all along, what else about your health have you been missing? This is the moment where many people finally realize the problem was never just coffee. The real turning point comes when the body begins to stabilize and patterns become clearer. Energy doesn't suddenly return in a dramatic rush, but it starts to feel more even and predictable. Mood swings soften, sleep becomes deeper, and hunger cues make more sense. This shift reveals an important insight backed by health experts. Caffeine doesn't create energy, it borrows it by stimulating the nervous system. When that stimulation is removed, the body is forced to rebuild its natural balance, which takes time and support. Doctors and wellness professionals often explain that this phase highlights how closely caffeine is linked to stress hormones, hydration levels, and sleep quality. Without constant stimulation, the body can finally regulate cortisol more naturally, allowing the nervous system to move out of a chronic fight or flight state. This is why some people notice calmer focus, fewer anxiety spikes, or improved digestion after the initial discomfort passes. What once felt like weakness begins to look more like recovery. The unexpected twist is that quitting coffee doesn't automatically fix everything. It simply removes the noise. What remains is an honest picture of your health, lifestyle, and daily habits. Some discover they need better sleep routines, more balanced nutrition, or healthier stress management. Others realize coffee wasn't harming them at all. It was how they were living around it. And that realization raises one final powerful question that lingers long after the cup is gone. If coffee wasn't the problem, what changes does your body actually need now? By the end of those 30 days, most people come away with clarity rather than extremes. Quitting coffee doesn't mean you've proven it's harmful or essential. It means you've given your body space to speak honestly. The lingering fatigue, calmer focus, improved sleep, or emotional shifts all serve as feedback, not judgment. They highlight how closely your energy, mood, digestion, and mental wellness are connected to daily habits like sleep timing, hydration, balanced meals, and stress management. The biggest takeaway is awareness. When you understand how caffeine affects your nervous system and stress hormones, you can make more intentional choices. Some people choose to reintroduce coffee in smaller amounts, paired with food and better sleep routines. Others realize they feel best without it, relying instead on natural energy from movement, sunlight, proper nutrition, and consistent rest. There's no single right answer, only what supports your health and lifestyle long-term. What truly matters is breaking the cycle of masking exhaustion and listening to early symptoms before they become chronic problems. Whether you drink coffee or not, paying attention to sleep quality, hydration, gut health, and emotional balance creates a stronger foundation for wellness. In the end, quitting coffee for 30 days isn't about the drink itself. It's about learning how to support your body in a way that feels sustainable, honest, and aligned with your overall health.